Is that good?
From 7 to 9 p.m. right here on TheBeatDropsRadio.com. She's always listening, actually.
Hey, Bianca.
Hey.
You're well connected with a lot of high-profile artists and entertainers. One thing it seems they all have in common is their skin is so clear. What's the secret? I know from Iron A White Style. Peruvian asphalt and iodized oil. That's got to be the duck paste and Moroccan cobra oil. I know that works.
Not bad.
So what is it?
It's Power Shake.
Power what?
An aftershave lotion that blends in unique anti-inflammatory antiseptic formula.
That sounds pretty good, but how does it help you?
It prevents bones, ingrown hairs, and razor. It helps reduce swelling and swelling of the skin.
That sounds like a fantastic product. Man, what about the ladies? I know some ladies there.
Ladies are coming too with Power Shake. It prevents discoloration and itching, resulting from hair removal. It's the fastest way to a smooth skin line. And effective visible results in 24 hours with a 100% money back guarantee.
Man, I've been putting all this stuff on my face. I could have been using Power Shave all the time.
Yes, you could have. Matter of fact, I tell you what you do. Go to PowerShave.com. PRIVASAJ.com. You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on TheBeatDropsRadio, your top 40 pop and R&B station. New Beat of Atlanta. It's a pretty day today. Doug's face is looking very perplexed. I don't know why. He's working it out over there. The caller number is 404-826-9223. Again, 404-826-9223 is the calling number. If you want to see everything that's happening in the station as it happens, just go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on Watch Live, and you'll be able to see everything that's happening. We got some events that's going to be coming up in the Chattanooga area. One of them is going to be the old school throwback. There'll be information coming on up about that soon, so keep your ears peeled. Also, if you are an artist looking to open for Dave Tolliver in November, you know, R&B, Black Pavarotti, something like the greatest, in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area. That's going to be going down in November for the Acoustic Cafe experience. I'm excited. Live band, all of that stuff is going to be happening there. So if you are interested, and you don't have to travel far. I mean, right here in the Atlanta area, it takes every bit of a quarter tank of gas to get to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Wonderful atmosphere. Love it. The first one went off without a hitch. Great. I'm looking forward to many more to come. Again, that is the Acoustic Cafe experience, sponsored by The Beat Drops Radio, B&B Entertainment 3000. That's right. The Beat Drops Radio, B&B Entertainment 3000. Kelvin Turnbull and Friends is the house band, and they do an absolutely fantabulous job. And Dave Tolliver is going to be killing it. I can't wait to see, because like I've never seen Dave perform with a whole live band. You know, I've seen him sing to his performance tracks, and he still did a great job. But I can't wait to see Dave perform with the live band. I'm looking forward to that. All right, so along with other good news, well, I guess I'll start off with the good. That's what they taught me in management. The good, then the bad, and then, you know, the not so bad, I guess. Sandwich that thing. Tyler Perry. This is something that we heard about not long ago. We heard that Tyler Perry was expected to be a dad. Some of us theorized. Some of us said, ain't no way that Tyler Perry is having anybody's baby naturally. I'm just saying, that's what some had said. But and then others was like, well, he's probably gonna be adopting a baby, you know.
Tyler, we're talking Tyler Perry, we're talking about Medea.
We're talking about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. So he's very excited apparently to be a dad, and apparently now this is recent stuff. Okay, E-News and everybody has been kind of delving into his life there. That apparently, you know, his on again, off again model girlfriend for several years, Yelia Beckel, B-E-K-E-L-E, I don't know how to say it. They're expecting their first child. And apparently he's very, he said, yes, we're very excited about it. And when they asked him about the pregnancy at the New York premiere of Gone Girl on Friday, it looks like he'll be entering fatherhood very soon, because a source apparently has said that she's about 7 or 8 months along right now. And Tyler Perry is 45. I don't think they really say how old she is, but he is 45 right now. And it seems as though the 45-year-old they're saying may have accidentally spilled the beans on the baby's gender. I don't see how you can accidentally. You either say, we're not going to tell you, or you just go ahead and give it. So apparently, he said, and I quote, the greatest gift I'm being given right now is the opportunity to give the little boy in me everything I never had. So that's what I'm excited about. This beautiful human being that God has allowed to come into my life for me to get to know, because they come with their own personalities, who they are, to shepherd and usher him. Then he stopped and said, I said him, oops. And he smiled and he said, into whatever the child is supposed to be, what I'm going to do. That's what he said. So I look at it from a standpoint that, you know, I'm happy for him. But how does the church view this? Because Tyler Perry does a whole lot of Christian stuff. And matter of fact, he does about 99% as far as Christian stuff. He's done a few other movies, you know, that weren't based, you know, that he's done a great job. But how does the church feel about that? I mean, because the church folk completely and 100% support Tyler Perry and all of his plays and all of his stuff that he does. It's just, isn't that fornication?
Pretty much.
Isn't it? Okay, I got it right? That's what they call it, right? And he's Christian, and he's doing a lot. Okay, so yeah, I was just wondering how does the church feel about that? You know, sometimes they don't look too kindly upon that. I mean, that's an altar call, isn't it? You know, people are laying on hands and all of that. I don't think anybody will say nothing. So congrats, Tyler. You know, I hope that you guys can maybe come together as an actual unit, because like I said, they've been on again and off again for some time now, and I don't know, she's pregnant. Interesting. And we know that Tyler has gone through a lot of personal struggles, a lot of things that he shared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, being, you know, raped as a young boy when he was, you know, by men and women. You know, just he was abused by his father, just all kind of stuff that Tyler has gone through. He's gone through a lot. That I don't even. I guess that's grace and mercy to be able to be sane and wake up in your right mind with all the things that he's gone through that a lot of people in his same position just haven't been able to get through. But, you know, congratulations. Hope everything works out well. And Tracy Morgan, you know, there was a situation that happened not long ago, well, I would say earlier this summer, where Tracy Morgan was in a tragic car accident.
Came up close and personal to a big Walmart truck.
Yeah. And, you know.
Just let you know I am here.
You are here? Okay. Doug is here now. Doug is here. But, you know, he had like a home situation. Apparently, you know, he lost a very good friend, and there were a lot of injuries that took place. And he himself, I think they weren't too sure in the beginning if he was even going to be able to keep his leg. I think I heard some reports about that when he was going through rehabilitation, I believe in New York, wasn't it? New Jersey. He was in New Jersey. It was in June, 6-car crash on the New Jersey Pike. And apparently this thing is moving forward, and in court, Tracy Morgan was saying, after he heard what Walmart said in court, he felt he had to speak out and said, I can't believe Walmart is blaming me for an accident that they caused. My friends and I were doing nothing wrong. I want to thank my fans for sticking with me during this difficult time. I love you all. I'm fighting hard every day to get back. And so he's dealing with a whole lot, you know, as part of the ordinary course of legal proceedings. Walmart filed an initial response the other day to the lawsuit that included facts and defenses that may impact the case moving forward. The statement reads, and I quote, while we were required to respond to the lawsuit, we have also taken steps to encourage settlement discussions. Our thoughts continue to go out to everyone involved, and we remain committed to doing what's right. So Tracy Morgan, 45, and the others are suing Walmart after one of its trucks slammed into the Star's limo bus. I believe they were doing like a tour. It was like a comedy tour or something like that they were on and going from one place to another or whatever. And James McNair was the driver of the Walmart truck that slammed into their limo bus.
Allegedly, he was like up for 20 hours straight or something like that.
Yeah, hadn't had any rest or something like that. Allegedly. Thank you. He hadn't had any rest. And, Walmart denied allegations of recklessness and negligence and claimed the injuries happened in part by failure to wear an appropriate available seatbelt restraint device. Now, that is the absolute craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. They're saying, well, if you'd have had a seatbelt on, did you see the condition of that limo bus?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, how in the world was a seatbelt going to avoid the whole back end being smashed in? It's a limo bus. It's not that much space. It's almost like the equivalent of a party bus, right? They're about the same size.
Yeah, pretty big, but when it met its match.
Yeah. You can't. I'm just saying that's crazy. So Walmart did not respond to the plaintiff's claims that Walmart driver Kevin Roper, who hit Morgan's limo bus, had driven hundreds of miles during his shift and was fatigued because it's a party to the National Transportation Safety Board investigation. So they didn't want to say anything about that because there's another investigation going on. So I feel for Tracy Morgan. This is absolutely crazy. You like, I'm riding along, I'm on tour, I'm doing what I do and what I love to do. This fool hits us, causes, loss of life. He almost loses his leg. He had like broken ribs.
Right now he's still on a wheelchair too, right?
Is he? I didn't see what I knew it was still a bad, situation that he was coming back from, and we'll all be happy once Tracy Morgan, gets back to the point where he can get back to work. And I'm sure he's looking forward to being able to entertain everybody, because I think he was in the midst of filming a movie or something like that. I know production had to stop. Or it was a show, right? 30 Rock or something like that he was doing. Yeah, so all of that had to stop. All of that, and I'm pretty sure that the lawsuit is not small. The more and more I think about it, when you talk about doctor's bills, rehabilitation, funeral expenses, therapy, whatever else is thrown in there, loss of wages. Yeah, that can be pretty expensive. But you know what? Walmart can afford it. They're not hurting. Just have a little sale and everybody. I'm just saying, Doug.
Yeah, I hear you.
Walmart's not hurting. They're not. I guess they're just trying to. I would guess that they're going to try to sell it. Go as far as they possibly can and just try to sell it for an undisclosed amount. That's what I'm thinking. So, again, good luck, Tracy Morgan, and everybody that's involved with that situation. And, it's hard to see, and I hate that this situation even happened, but, who am I to question the situation that's taking place? We just hope the best for you guys, and the outcome is favorable and in your favor. Keep it locked right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. Straight ahead, we have sports in layman's terms. Did you have something?
No, I'm good. Getting ready for sports in layman's terms. Just a good update and ready to roll.
Yeah, because I saw little stuff, so I might be able to talk a little bit.
There's a lot going on. I'm just trying to decipher what we're going to attack. Not off of a strategy.
Indeed. Keep it locked. Kanye Dawes, meantime. Then contact the Beat Drops Radio if you want your YouTube links, website, and contact information to TheBeatDropsRadio@gmail.com to set up an appointment today. If you expect to hear more, you can expand our network to include interesting, creative, fun, original, and captivating shows, and this just might be. We are a family-friendly, top 40 pop and R&B station located in the Atlanta metro area. Now, if you don't live in the Atlanta area and have pre-recorded shows, we have time slots available for you too. Don't delay and email us today, The Beat Drops Radio.
You know the music. Doug Lehman. Time to put it to you in layman's terms with your Beat Drops Radio Sports Update. Got a lot of things going on the field and off the field. Let's talk about last night. We've got Major League Baseball underway with the playoffs and the special wild card one game in advance series that took place. Well, last night, the Kansas City Royals defeated the Oakland A's 9-8. It took them 12 innings and a long time to play the game. In fact, it took 4 hours and 35 minutes.
That's a long.
41 players and 13 pitchers for the Royals.
That's a long freaking game.
And you said long? How about long time? It took the Royals since 1985 to get back to postseason. So they're happy in Kansas City.
Yes, they are.
And it went extra innings. They were actually down 7-1 in the game. And they rallied back and won by 1 run in 12 innings. So if you're good, so to be commended, that was one of the best games ever in the history of baseball and playoffs. And for Kansas City, it's a long time coming since 1985.
Congrats!
Congratulations to Kansas City. And what's on tap tonight? Another one in advance play wild card game. Basically, if you win, you go to the next round of playoffs. Okay. They've added more teams to the structure last year. The Pittsburgh Pirates are hosting the San Francisco Giants. That game gets underway about 8:07 tonight. Pittsburgh did make the playoffs last year, and they were out for like 20 years, so they had a long way last year, but they made it back, and I'm rooting for the Pirates over the Giants tonight. That game is, if it's anything like last night's game, it's sudden death. You win, you advance, you're done, you're done.
All right.
So that's on stake. And one more baseball story right now.
Yeah.
The Braves hitting coach, Greg Walker, has decided to step down. He's been with the Braves since, I think, 2012, 54-year-old Greg Walker. Braves weren't hitting. He decided, before he gets fired, maybe I'll just step on down.
Let me just let this go.
Let me go. They weren't hitting the ball. Who are they going to fire, the manager or the hitting coach? And they've already fired the general manager, so we'll see what's shaking up with the Atlanta Braves. Michael Phelps is back in the news. Fortunately or unfortunately, well, it is unfortunate, for his second DUI.
Michael Phelps?
Mr. Gold Medalist.
Yeah.
So
swimming like a fish.
Swimming like a fish, driving 85 miles an hour with his wife and unborn child on the way. So a lot could have happened tragically. Unfortunately, fortunately, nothing did happen. It's not good when you're a two-time offender and you're a role model supposedly to people, and so something's going to happen. Sponsors are dropping.
Oh no!
So we'll see.
I think he'll get it back though.
Yeah, but it's two times. Two times
is not good. I remember when what's her name? Vivica Fox, when she had an endorsement with Cadillac, $3 million, and got caught DUI. She lost that endorsement quickly. I was like, yeah, that's never coming back.
Yeah, especially when you're in the limelight. But when you're a second-time offender, that's not good.
That's hard. That's hard.
That's not good at all. What is good is Rory McIlroy golfer has been named PGA Player of the Year. Last year it was Tiger Woods, and McIlroy won it in 2012. So they're kind of going back and forth. So shout out to him in that. Speaking of other situations with coaching, I'm going to get on that a little bit. The Oakland Raiders did fire their head coach, and now they've got Tony Sparano. Not Tony Soprano, but Tony Sparano is now taking over as an intermediate head coach for the Raiders as they fired.
What they call him that?
What?
Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do that.
It kind of looks like him, too.
Really?
Yeah, so interesting on that. So the Raiders are a mess as they fire their usually they don't fire coaches in midseason, but they made that firing on Monday.
Why do you think the midseason? Why didn't they wait? I mean, I'm just saying. I guess they
wanted Dennis Allen to go, I guess, and they got rid of him. So
it's jacked up.
Derek Jeter, Hall of Famer, soon to be Hall of Famer, Derek Jeter, who just retired this year and had the farewell season. He's decided his next venture is going to be he's going to set up a media site for athletes to be able to post their stories about going through journalism or journalists. Basically, he wants athletes to be able to tell their story without editors and other people in the news, you know, jacking their story up. I don't know how he's going to monitor it, but I think that's kind of a cool concept. You know, if you can get people to, you know, they want to hear directly from the player's mouth. Right. You know, get that concept, get that story going. So Jeter's doing that as well. Did you happen to see over the weekend the highlights of the Ohio State fan that rushed the field and got body slammed by the strength and conditioning coach?
No, I missed that.
Well,
So
it's a definite viral video. During the Ohio State-Cincinnati football game, a student by the name of Anthony Wonder, check that, ran out onto the field. And sometimes it's not really viewed too, in the minds of security, not a good thing.
No.
But strength and conditioning football coach was on there. You know, those guys are usually big, and they're ex-football players. They're pretty good size. Plus, they managed some weightlifting and training.
Right.
Grabbed him, body slammed him in front of all that, and he dragged him out. It gets a little deeper. This Wonder guy and his attorney are going to court, and they pleaded that that he did not run out. He wasn't causing a disturbance, and basically
he ran out on the
field. So that doesn't help with the whole situation. Basically, they said that, you know, he wasn't causing the, you know, but he did. And now he might lose his scholarship too.
Oh no!
So he's on the 4th year of a 5 years. He's an engineering student. So it gets deeper, man. You made a public fool of yourself, and now you might get your scholarship.
So you know what? That's one of those where I don't know if he was like drinking or not, but that's just one of those college things where it's like, I bet you won't. That double dare type thing. I'm gonna run out. Run out. You're not gonna run out. And he runs out anyway, and nobody else is claiming that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty graphic when you see the video.
Oh man.
And he picks him up and throws him down.
Oh my gosh.
And you know, once you see it, but I mean, basically, and then the possibility of this guy losing his scholarship, that's kind of icing on the cake.
Yeah, it is.
So
you know, I'm just taking over here.
That's okay, because I'm good. I'm done with that.
A
couple other quick stories in the news after the body slam from Ohio State. Steve Smith.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I just saw the slam.
Yeah, it's definitely viral. You can see that. I want to see the longer version where the kid runs out and grabs him. That's the short Vine version. What you're looking at.
Oh man, he's like tackled.
Oh no, you're talking to an ex-football player who's a strength and conditioning coach. You know, I mean.
I'm sorry, y'all got to see this.
Yeah,
you guys got to see this. It's a definite tackle, grab, throw situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing that wasn't happening in the Carolina Panthers Baltimore Ravens game was the tackling of Steve Smith, the former great wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, is now playing with the Baltimore Ravens. We had a chance to go back and play against his former teammates and the owners and general manager who did not sign him. Well, Steve Smith wanted to talk a little trash and do things. Well, he did his talking trash on the field where he's had 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Steve Smith, you know, doesn't stop there. He's known for letting people know who he is and, you know, why they should have signed him. And he definitely spoke on the field. But he's making the rounds of a quote there's video footage of him on the sidelines looking at the cameraman from another news source saying, this is only how Steve Smith can do. He basically says to the Carolina Panthers, this is the nail in the coffin. You're dead. Take your ass back to Carolina and make sure you mow my lawn. Keep it clean.
Taunting.
And then in the locker room, because he's one of the older players, he basically said, I'm an old man playing a young man's game. Let me say it again. I'm an old man playing a young man's game. Some of you guys need to ice up, son. So Steve Smith making the rounds. I can't blame him, but he's doing it on the field. But you got to see the video because I'm not doing it justice. But basically, that's going on. Unfortunately, I wish I could say some positive thing about the Atlanta Falcons. They've lost 3 more players due to injury. They have 1 person left on their offensive line, which was a wreck in the beginning. So it doesn't look good for the Falcons' offensive front.
It doesn't. We did see the game. It was myself, my husband, my mom and pops. We was over there watching the game over the weekend, and it seemed like the Falcons were dropping like flies. It's like, here comes the truck again. Somebody else is going out. But I do have to make mention of the quarterback for the other team.
Yeah, he might not be playing this week though. He's got a.
I saw the ankle sprain or something like that. But I saw the signs that said Teddy time.
Yeah.
That like, how did the Falcons let him get away?
Well,
Seriously.
I mean, how they get? I mean, they didn't.
I mean,
draft him. Get away in the field or get away.
No,
not.
I mean, like, why did they not draft this kid?
Well, they didn't have pick high enough to get him.
Golly, I mean, that's one of those, like, let our quarterback just sit down for a minute.
Right. Well,
he was throwing. Did you see how confident he was throwing on the money?
You know, he was in the running for the Heisman last year until Crabbley cafeteria shouting baseball, football player, Jameis Winston. You know, but no, he's a solid player. He just had, you know, it's tough when you're a rookie step in. But Matt Castle, the starting quarterback, got hurt. It was time for Teddy to do his thing. Teddy Bridgewater. And
Teddy, I mean,
like a bridge over troubled water. No, he was not. He was rolling.
My pops was like, they're not supposed to be playing like this. They're not supposed to be winning. And then after a while, I was like, you know what?
Because if you look, first of all, it's the Falcons. Second of all, your pops is right. Shout out to listening to the show that going into that game, Falcons came off a big shellacking of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they look good. And Minnesota doesn't have Adrian Peterson's out. Yeah. So they don't have their star running back. Their starting quarterback is out. You know, the only thing they had going for it, they were playing at home. Actually, they were playing it at University of Minnesota because where the Vikings are playing, they're going to renovate. Bottom line is a home game in Minnesota for them.
Right.
And the bottom line is Bridgewater time to shine. And he did it. He looked great against the Falcons. And it's going to be it may be a long season for the Falcons now. They were hurting on the offensive line, but they are really hurting now. And they can't stop nobody defensively. They got some great players and they got some great pieces. They don't have enough. And if you just play offense all the time and you can protect the quarterback, you might be all right. But you got to stop people. Well, you got to stop people from getting to the quarterback too.
Exactly. Teddy got a new fan dog on it. I was like, you know what, Teddy, you got a new fan, man. And I saw his mom. They showed his mom in the stands, like, you know, she probably didn't even have a voice by the end of the game. She was like, "That's my son." I know I'd have been saying that.
Yes.
Screaming, whole sign, flying, everything. But she was enjoying the game. Yes, I would. My son was looking at me like, really?
Well, I mean, that's good. That was jubilation and no protest going on. Unlike what's going on at the campus of Ann Arbor, University of Michigan, students as we speak are out there in full force on the president's lawn asking for the AD to be fired. And of course, the head coach is going to be fired shortly at the end of the season, Brady Hoke. Situation occurred that they're already in hot water. Michigan's having a horrific year. I mean, they're horrible. And their coach will be, all intents and purposes, Brady Hoke, be fired. Well, what happened in their last game against Minnesota, they had the senior quarterback come in. He was benched because he has been horrible the first 3-4 games. So they had the young sophomore come in. I don't know his name right off the top of my head. He played, got hurt, got a mild concussion. At the time, they didn't know.
Oh, man.
But they brought in the senior for a play, but his helmet came off, so they got to bring in another player. When the helmet comes off, you have to come off the field. So they brought in the young guy to come in, and the people are like, can he play, whatever.
Right.
So they're looking. Injury, he shouldn't have been out there. So they're questioning the team doctors. They're questioning the head coach. But the fans are looking for a reason just to protest and rally. Fire the AD. Not the coach. You know, so that's going on right now. So they're a little disgruntled in Ann Arbor, Michigan right now with their Wolverines. And I think it all started with Notre Dame waxed their ass. 35-0.
Oh, well.
Just saying.
That's a shellacking right there. 35-0. Nothing. You couldn't even kick a field goal.
That was the first game, and it's got worse from that.
Yeah,
they lost to Utah, and they lost to Minnesota. But no, there's a lot going on. But one thing for certain: don't run out on the field
at a Buckeye game.
Right? Because you're gonna
do that.
You're gonna get yours. I'm actually looking forward to the baseball game tonight. One game, playoff game. I mean, if you don't like baseball, that's fine. But if you're at any interest at all, last night's game, I didn't see it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was 7-1. I'm like, whatever. Who would have thunk it? And I'm happy for the Kansas City fans.
Right.
Since 1985.
Yeah, that's
and it took them,
That's big.
That's big for them. So now they get to move on in the playoffs, and we'll break that down. Now that we'll get down to the final, 4 teams in each division. We can talk about it. Now we'll find out who, between the winner of the Pirates and Giants, we'll find out who the Washington Nationals are going to play. So That's all I got in layman's terms. Don't run out on the field. You might get slammed. Don't drink and drive. Mike Phelps.
Yep. Don't want to do that. Man.
And if you're an athlete, you may want to talk to Derek Jeter to get your story straight. And ice up, son. If Steve Smith, don't fuss with the old dude because he's making noise.
That's right.
All right.
Like right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. We appreciate you, Doug, for Sports and Lincoln's Turn. Up next, we got man, we're gonna talk about this whole Ebola situation and just the Ontario virus, all of that. We're gonna talk about that coming up next. Right now, we got a little bit of music. King, Mr. Chameleon. This is a group of ladies I didn't know anything about until like last night. So King, some Leela James, and Kalani. So keep it locked right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. We'll be back after this. You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show, Top 40 Pop and R&B station, sitting here with Doug Lame. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, man, just more breaking news.
Yeah, we got more breaking news that's happening. This whole thing with the Secret Service, I was going to save that till a little bit later, but because of what has just happened, I feel the need, or we felt the need, to move it up a little bit. We saw the whole situation that happened with the Secret Service. Let an armed man into the latest, let an armed man into the elevator with the president while he was here visiting the CDC headquarters. This wasn't that long ago here in Atlanta. And we also saw about how there was a man that apparently jumped the fence, got onto or ran directly to the White House. Went in.
Got in.
I mean,
got
so
in,
many,
walked in, started lounging in some room.
I mean, so many lines of defense was just, it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, how come they didn't release the dogs? You know, how come the snipers didn't shoot? And this man, and the front door is unlocked. And I thought like he had gotten stopped before he got in the front door until I saw recent developments that stated otherwise. No, he not only got in, but he went like, they said it was the equivalent of half of a tour that people go on the White House. And he was almost to like the president's quarters where he lives, him and his family. What kind of crap is that? And how did he know which way to go? I just think about that.
Well, I'm not sure where he was going. Big house.
Well, I'm just saying it.
Yeah, he managed to walk into a couple rooms.
He ran in. I mean, he got
Did he
past
run in?
Yeah, he ran in. He ran, got to the front door, went in. The first person for security tried to get him. He slammed them, overcame them, kept running, and maybe he was on a tour before with the White House. It's possible for him to know exactly where to go because he was going.
What I saw yesterday, and I saw it on the internet, I saw like an animated visual thing of a man, an outline of a man walking in the room. It was like a graphic, showed like a schematic of. But it didn't give him it didn't do the play-by-play of him run. It just showed a little bit.
Here recently,
recently,
the CNN like redid the whole thing. And what was mentioned was, they said, I hope that you guys do a better job protecting the president as you've been doing protecting your reputation right now, because it's terrible. Because they try to make it seem as if it wasn't as bad as it actually was. So what we have right now,
somebody need to resign.
Yeah, well, I'm going to play this because apparently, and this is breaking news, you guys. This just happened. Secret Service director resigns. We're going to cue this up real quick. Let me try to play this. Hopefully it works. But this is what just happened. Here we go.
Julia Pearson, head of the Secret Service, has resigned. This is just coming to us from the White House and then from our White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, and that President Obama has accepted. So, Ronald Kessler, you and I breaking the news to the nation that she's out. Your reaction? We have Jim Acosta. Forgive me. Are we going to Jim?
Hi, Brooke. That's right. If you can hear me, I do have the statement from Secretary Johnson about Julia Pearson. It says right there at the top today, Julia Pearson, the director of the U.S. Secret Service, offered her resignation, and I accepted it. I salute her 30 years of distinguished service to the Secret Service and the nation. But Brooke, you can see that this was starting to develop all day long. Elijah Cummings, ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, really got the ball rolling earlier this morning when he said that if she could not restore confidence to that agency, that he would like to see her step aside. That Nancy Pelosi, the House Minority Leader, said that she basically agreed with Elijah Cummings' assessment of the situation. In the last several minutes, I was talking to a key Democratic official who essentially said that her job was in jeopardy, and then this email came through. This all happened very quickly, obviously, because in part because of her testimony yesterday. I talked to a number of people up on Capitol Hill, aides to various congressmen up on Capitol Hill, and the people inside the administration who just felt that her testimony was not inspiring, it was not reassuring, and that was part of the reason for her departure.
All right. So there you go. I just think that 30 years, Doug, did you hear that?
It's been a nice run.
Her position for 30 years. Do you think she's just tired? Because I don't think I've ever seen any situation like this take place. I'm thinking I didn't even know it was a female, director over the Secret Service. Had no idea. But I know we've never heard of this type of situation take place before. Not ever. Not with any president. You think 30 years, how many presidents is that? That's a lot of freaking presidents. That's a lot of presidents.
That answers a question that not really a question, more of it is a question that I guess each administration can set up new heads of or can they just stay in power? Apparently, Bush liked her, Clinton liked her.
Yep. Other Bush, and
President Obama.
I mean, because I'm just saying that's we've never.
Unless it's like a type of job that it's not really related to who's in charge. I don't know. Either way, bottom line, she's been there a long time.
Long freaking time, and man, so
maybe it's time to go.
Yeah.
Why not go out on a low note?
But it seems as though to me, even though that she's funny stuff, even though she's the director, that those that are under you, they should know protocol at this point. I mean, it doesn't. I would hope that she doesn't have a team of rookies. Like everybody is their first year, they should know how things should happen, what protocol is, and if somebody jumps over the fence, how you're supposed to react, and the snipers are supposed to do what they're supposed to do, and the dogs are supposed to do what they're supposed to do. Now, I didn't get a chance to read this. This is coming from TheWire.com. That's one of my go-to sources when I look at different things, and that clip was from CNN.com. I don't want any problems from Google. That was CNN. Okay, jeez. So, in the latest humiliation of the Secret Service, this is as of yesterday. Unauthorized armed man was allowed to ride an elevator with President Obama during his tour to CDC here in Atlanta, according to reports that were confirmed by a senior Republican congressman. Obama was in the elevator with his Secret Service detail when a CDC security officer began taking photos and video of the president behaving unprofessionally. The lapse was a breakdown in protocol for an agency tasked with vetting anyone who will come in close contact with Obama, that the man was a security contractor who had 3 prior convictions for assault and battery. He did not comply with directions from Secret Service agents to stop photographing the president. Is that not crazy? Is that not crazy? And President Obama was here. He was here. I talked too soon about that phone, didn't I? He was here. Good Lord. I appreciate everybody from Texas that's tuning in, because good Lord, it looks like an entire country that just tuned in. So at any rate, shout out to Stafford, Texas, Houston, Texas, Cedar Hill, Texas. Thanks for tuning in.
Maybe the Longhorns can win a game this week for you.
Man. Yeah, hopefully. So with this whole situation, Obama was here. He was here to receive a briefing on the Ebola outbreak. Now, isn't that coincidental? About the Ebola situation, that's what he was here for. And I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, the reason why I said, isn't that a coincidence, is because we have this whole situation here recently where the Ebola virus is now here. Now, it is here in the United States. And I don't know about you, Doug, but I figured it was only a matter of time. I didn't hear any restrictions going on with the airplanes. People are still able to come and go. And there was an individual that I ran into the other day that was giving his thoughts about the airlines and how much money they would lose if they shut down international flights coming to and from that area. And I had to agree with his reasoning, because he came up with some figure of like hundreds of thousands per day that we would lose, or the United States would lose, the air industry or whatever, the travel industry would lose if they cut that down. But the first case of Ebola diagnosed in the United States, right here, it was a patient apparently that left Liberia on September the 10th. This is okay. He arrived to the U.S. on September the 20th, and he went to the hospital for help. That's the thing. He went for help. He was not feeling well. He goes to the hospital. And this one doesn't say, but the latest reports, and I think ABC News was trying to be nice at this point when I gathered all of my information previously, but they sent him home. They sent him home. And then he came in contact with all these school-age kids there in Texas. Then he went back and he's been put in isolation. Is that not crazy? Test confirming that Ebola if I can get it out, diagnosis came back. The White House said President Obama was briefed about the patient by Frieden. Frieden stressed that the patient was not sick on departure from Liberia or upon arrival in the U.S. and the disease can only be contracted by someone exhibiting symptoms of the disease, and I think that is bull. It is worse than what they're saying. That is my thought on it, because they don't want people to panic. They're too worried about political correctness and not offending anybody, and we don't want to say, because there's a situation that took place with CNN, Sanjay Gupta, we know who that is, and a CDC correspondent or representative was saying, well, it's not, it's not airborne, it's contact, so if I'm sitting close to, then, I probably, if somebody's infected, I'm by them. And somebody asked the question, well, if they sneeze on you, would that not? And they want to answer the question and not answer the question. Look, let's use common sense, people. If somebody has the Ebola virus and you are on an airplane, this is the thing, you're on the airplane. How many people cough and sneeze and do all kinds of stuff on the airplane? You don't have the freedom.
And just what you're saying. I'm looking over an article published by Rutgers University, Robert Wood Johnson Medical School.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how you can get this. First of all, it's published today in the EPOCH Times.
Yeah.
Anyways, the journalist
you're right.
center, and basically talks about outbreak, how you can catch it. It's transmitted. First of all, there's no cure. Let me say that again.
No cure.
Right now, I know we've tried to. We brought people in to test them.
Exactly.
And what was the final result?
Well, they had gotten better, but we don't know if that actually cured the situation.
Well, it takes more than one.
You know what I mean?
The virus is spread from person to person through contact, body fluids, including saliva, tears, sweat, urine, blood, stool, and semen. It is not spread through the air. That's what they're saying.
See, that's wrong to me. Because if you're in the same room with somebody and they cough, and this is where the guy from CDC was saying, well, we look at everything on a case-by-case basis. You're definitely in a higher risk bracket if you're by somebody and they cough. What do you mean? It's an either-or situation. Yes or freaking no.
I don't know. I know that you've got another agenda. It's like the fear thing.
I'm not on the fear thing. I'm on the real. To me, it's just being real. Look, if somebody's infected with Ebola, don't be around them. They need to be in isolation. They don't need to be walking around nobody. They don't need to be touching nobody. They don't need to be coughing. They don't need to be in a situation where they can be in any contact with anybody, period. There is no cure. So would you want to? Would you want to be around somebody that has a confirmed case of Ebola and you want to go off of what they are saying that, well, I don't know.
I'm good. Yeah, you're good, and I get what you're saying. It is kind of like, it's not saying I'm pleased, I'm making a stretch here.
Yeah.
Work with me. It's like with AIDS. If you were around homosexuals and stuff, there was I can catch it. I can catch it from them.
Yeah, I know.
No, but it's kind of a stretch what I'm saying.
Yeah, because in the beginning, that's
people were
just scared. But it's confirmed at this point. That, this is far worse than HIV. Far worse. And there are those that are able to, it's just far worse. Because we've not dealt with or seen a situation where somebody with HIV has sneezed and other folks in there, are under isolation. That just hasn't happened. I'm just seeing it with Ebola, though. It's no joke. That's absolutely no joke. There are no bodily fluids like that exchanging. I don't know. I just hate that. Ebola's killed almost 3,000 people in West Africa and infected 3,346 since the outbreak began in March. And we have to, it is a scary disease. You got to be serious about it. I'm realistic with the thing that it's a serious disease, and they're saying right now, CDC is saying it will stop right here. We make a vow it's going to stop. How can you say that when he exposed so many people from the airplane to the hospital, to going back home, to being by school-age children, back to the hospital, if we just think about theoretically how many people we come in contact with on a daily basis, that's a scary situation. I'm just saying. That's a scary situation because I know just being at the bookstore, you know, I see hundreds of people daily. I see hundreds of people like within hours. And you don't know who's been in contact with who's flown where. People are flying in and out internationally all the time. You know, there are folks that's there that's from India, from West Africa, from Saudi Arabia, from Russia, from Germany. I mean, people, you don't know where they've been. We don't have like one of those little tags that says, you know, these are all the places that I've been.
Right.
And there's only, and I will say this, there, one part of the Asian culture that I appreciate. There is this Asian guy that I saw not long ago that came in, he had a mask on. They don't have a problem with wearing masks. They're sick, they put freaking masks on. Us, I was thinking about doing a web series, Doug. I was thinking about doing a web series talking about, you know, like just common courtesy stuff, but just make a spin on it, make it comical. But just the stuff that we do without even thinking about it, just coughing on everybody, sneezing on everybody, you know, reach our hands out to shake their hand after we just snotted everywhere. I mean, just common stuff that we just don't think about that we do on a regular basis that can get other people sick. I'm just saying. I thought about it. So, I thought about it.
Put it to print. Put it out there.
I don't want to do that. So, Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital, Dr. Edward Goodman said he could not reveal information about the patient's symptoms or treatment, but said that he is ill and he is under intensive care. Now, what you need to know about Ebola. Ebola is a virus described as a group of viruses that can cause a deadly kind of, what is that word? Hemorrhagic or whatever fever, a bad fever. That's the point.
Yeah.
It means it causes bleeding inside and outside the body. The virus has a long incubation period of approximately 8 to 21 days. Early symptoms include fever, muscle weakness, sore throat, and headaches.
That's like any common cold.
Yep. except for the bleeding inside and outside the body. That right there, that's a separation. As the disease progresses, though, the virus can impair kidney and liver function and lead to external and internal bleeding. It's one of the most deadly viruses on Earth, with a fatality rate that can reach between approximately 50 to 90%. There is no cure. How is it transmitted? The same thing that they're saying there. Virus through contact with blood or secretions from an infected person, either directly or through contaminated surfaces. Now, that's something I had not heard before. So they could have touched something, you come and touch it, and I'm just saying, needles or medical equipment, a patient is not contagious until he or she starts showing signs of the disease. How do they know that part for sure? With an incubation period of 8 to 21 days. How do you know? That's just
well, they
crazy.
know because they know they're going to have a cure for it. They know all.
Is that what it is? They know
Yes.
everything.
They know that's
Everything. Where did the virus
Why
come
would
from?
you question that?
Yeah, right. I don't think we're going to question that. I'm just saying. So the virus gets its name from the Ebola River in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which was near the site of one of the first outbreaks. The virus was first reported in 1976 in two almost simultaneous outbreaks in the Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. They killed 151 and 280 people respectively. Certain bats living in tropical African forests are thought to be the natural host of the disease. I have my doubts on that. I just do. But I'll reserve that to myself. Who's at risk? The virus is not airborne, whatever. I disagree with that, which means those in close contact can be infected and are most at risk. See, that's what I mean. If you're in close contact, but you're not touching, you're still at risk. That's double talk to me. You're not being realistic. That's just not being realistic. A person sitting next to the uninfected person, even if they are contagious, is not extremely likely to be infected. You know, you roll the dice on that. I'm not rolling the dice on that. Health workers and caregivers of the sick are particularly at risk for the disease because they work in close contact with infected patients during the final stages of the disease. And again, this is coming from thewire.com. This is an area that I go to, one of my go-to sources. In this outbreak alone, more than 100 health workers have been infected and at least 50 of them have died. Did you know that?
No
At least
doubt.
half of them. 100 workers. You got to be a special kind of individual to say, you know what? Despite it all, I am going to freaking keep helping these people, even though it's a 50-50 chance I am not going to make it. Those some high, that's high. So that's my thought on that situation. Hey, I don't know. We're going to talk a little bit about the Ontario virus, and then I got some weird news, dude. It's some craziness. Some people are doing some crazy stuff. And we'll be back after this. Keep it locked. Pharrell Williams. Have you heard this song? Girl, come get it, babe. Have you heard that?
Probably.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
He's out there a lot.
Yeah, he is. Keep it up right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on TheBeatDropsRadio. Let's get you coming in real quick and have a seat so we can close the door. Hey, we got some folks coming in. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, back for the closing segment here. We just had the dog man walk in. Got his show coming up next. Getting ready to bark all over the metro.
As I put my
Christian
bag
Master Dog Trainer
down.
show. So stay tuned.
Man, we've had all kinds of stunning news take place. We had the Secret Service director step down minutes ago. Played that. And what was that you were just playing for me over the break? What was that?
Judge Jeannie Pirro. She does a show on Fox News. And she's been in media correspondent and news reporter and judge for a long time. And she's got her thoughts. And she's rather fired up.
Yes.
All the time, that's been her style, but she's directing to the point. I've prosecuted so many people as an attorney and a justice,
right? But
she's fired up, and I like to, she talked about the situation of ISIS and what we need to do, how our government's been failing us, and yeah, she's direct and precise and to the point.
Typically I don't watch a lot of Fox News like I do CNN, but that was flipped before. Before I used to watch nothing but Fox News. And a little bit of CNN. So I don't know. But I look at a lot of different news sources. And Fox News, they slant more towards Republican, and CNN slants more towards Democrat. Right? That's fair. So, but I still listen to both, and I also listen to Rush Limbaugh to hear what Rush is saying because I think he's entertaining, number one. But that lady right there, the things that you shared over the break and I was listening to, I agree with her 100%. You can't wait until situations happen on American soil before you do something.
Yeah, she's pretty adamant. I mean, that video, she's been around for a minute, but that video that she released a couple of days ago is making the rounds, and she backed it up. You just have to check it out.
Right.
More information. We'll do a segment on it, but that story she put out 3 or 4 days ago, but she actually said the same thing 4 months ago.
Oh, did she? 4 months ago, she said
basically. So, but she didn't bring in all the extra cases to support it. So
right.
This time you got to pay attention to me.
Yeah, she was like, look, I've been saying this, and you're not listening. So you should be listening. And I just feel like you can't be. This is just my personal opinion, especially all the things that's been taking place. You can't be reactive to stuff. You cannot be reactive. You need to be proactive. Do we want another 9/11 situation where we say, oh, and I agree with her because I felt the same way in regards to the borders. The borders is just wide open. Come on in. We'll feed you, clothe you, educate you, all that stuff. Come on. We don't have a problem with it.
No.
Matter of fact, you can come from Liberia and everywhere else and be infected with Ebola. We ain't shutting down no flights. We just ask you, are you sick? Do you have a fever? No, I'm good. And then 8 days later, you've infecting Texas and kids and all of that. Thank you. We appreciate that. We're like sitting ducks, I'm just saying, on a powder keg. And that wick is burning real close.
Well, and that's what she was talking about, shutting down the borders. And I'm talking about Judge Jeannie Pirro, P-I-R-R-O, Fox correspondent, been doing this for a while. Had her own show, Judge Jeannie. Not Judge Judy, but
Judge Jeannie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'll digress on that. Update. Michael Dunn. This just came across too. Michael Dunn. If you guys remember what happened in Jacksonville, Florida, with the older guy in his 40s at the convenience store, right? Was that his wife or fiance that he was in the convenience store with? I can't remember.
I think it was his fiance.
She was inside. He went outside, and a group of teenagers, they were playing their music, minding their own. He got pissed and went to his vehicle and shot him up and killed Jordan Davis. You guys remember that?
Well, I mean, he asked him to turn it down first, and then they didn't oblige.
Whatever.
Then he took the law in his own hands.
Whatever. All he had to do was pull off.
He asked them to turn it down.
Turn it down, and they reacted just like teenagers would. The hell. That dude, that just incites. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, though. It wasn't like he went up there and just shot him.
But I don't know. He kind of did. If they don't turn it down, then, well, doesn't matter because he's guilty of first-degree murder as of today. shooting death of 17-year-old Jordan Davis. His parents were in the courtroom for the verdict. Davis's parents, Ron Davis and Lucia, if I'm saying it right, McBath, both let out a quiet gasp upon hearing the jury forewoman's words and then hung their heads and cried. This is a situation that's been happening for 2 years, you guys. I don't know if you remember, it was 2012 when this whole situation took place, 2012. So, and that's what they were saying too. This has been going on for 2 years. 2 years, and everyone has acted graciously. I ask that you continue to do that. Healy said before the verdict was read, remember, we must respect the verdict of the jury. They did not volunteer to do this. So that's the situation. He's probably sitting there wondering, why in the heck am I found guilty or what? Because the whole time he was like, I'm not guilty of anything. He felt completely justified. I mean, after he shot them all up and killed Jordan Davis.
Music was turned down then, right?
I don't know if it was turned down. I don't think anybody could have turned it down. They were ducking bullets. Just saying.
Okay.
It was ducking bullets. Nobody think about turning down nothing. And obviously they didn't have any guns to fire back. Got in the vehicle. They went on to the house. He ate some pizza. They drank wine and acted like,
DTP, disturbing the peace.
Like they squashed a fly or something. Yeah. And he was cool with it. I think his daughter was instrumental saying he got a problem. He has an issue. Matter of fact, my buddy, you remember my heckling buddy that every time I post something, he has something to say? Well, he's shown his head again. Again. I guess he just felt like it's just killing him. I just aggravate the crap. You guys, for some of you guys, especially all of you guys that's in Texas listening, I have a buddy. Yeah, we'll talk about you later. I have a buddy that, everybody has those folks that just can't stand whatever it is you say. They just can't stand it. I love those because then it lets me know that I'm at least doing what I'm supposed to be doing, aggravating you, I guess. But he tries to give those buzzwords. That racist Eric Holder. That's your thought. I didn't say nothing about him. I don't even think I put it. Have we even talked about him? We haven't even talked about him. I guess he's just trying to, push some buttons or something.
Trying to stay in the news.
Yeah, I guess so. But he's wise this time. He doesn't type things like he used to, so I can't post it and make a voice out of his text messages because I love that. All I do is just make it a voice. Shout out to Yolanda at Drybuzz. She's the one that gave me that idea. You remember that? She was like, you know what? If he doesn't want to call in, all you gotta do is put his text inside one of those readers, add a crazy voice, and just play it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
I need to find out what that text reader was again.
Man, I gotta look. I have it at home, and I'll be sure to pass that on to you. All right, the enterovirus. Before we get out of here, I want to mention this and a couple things. This now, when I first talked about it, the enterovirus 68 that starts off as a common cold, it was like 10 states that was affected as far as the school-age children, but it's now up to 45 states. Only 5 states haven't been affected by the situation. So enterovirus, the patients are all under 18 years of age and younger. And this situation, it doesn't seem to be slowing down, but what they did find out is that apparently there's a link of some of them experiencing paralysis that's been affected by the enterovirus.
And we have a cure for that one.
Actually, they have no idea what the heck it is.
Okay.
They've seen it before, and as a matter of fact, they said it was exactly 5 years ago that Georgia and Pennsylvania reported clusters of this virus. It's some of those things that one of those things that we have things that spin up, affect people, and go away. And the doctors, I'll be honest with you, and I know several physicians, they're just experimenting, they're practicing. They don't know whether that stuff is going to be effective or not. They don't.
Yeah, you got to trial and error sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, let's try this. Let's try that. Let's see if this works. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to. And then when it goes away, they're like, hey, like the bubonic plague. Who cured that?
But one thing's certain, we got coming up in about a half an hour, Master Christian Dog Trainer. And he doesn't train by trial and error. He trains 100%. For tips, no, he gets it done. It's called a segue. I'm talking about the network here.
All right.
B&B 3000 Entertainment.
Indeed. Dude, wearable futon. Would you ever wear a futon?
Would I ever wear a futon?
Would you ever wear a futon? Clothing of the future. Apparently, this guy in Japan has. He gave the world condom cookbooks. He also gave men who eat their own genitalia in the name of art. But now he has a product available in Japan for about $40. And look at the picture right there. It's crazy, is it not? So you can just lay it on down.
Lay it on down.
Lay it on down. Yeah, that's crazy. So far, the reaction in Japan has been mixed. You think they're gonna bring that over here? Wearable futons. Who would do it?
Just wear it. Sleep. You sleep where you lay
I mean,
down.
you know, it's conveniently already on you. You know, apparently
I mean,
it's
you got wearables. You got, you know, the iWatch and Samsung wearables. Why not have wearable furniture?
Well, I guess you can have wearable furniture, but here's the last thing I'm gonna talk about before we get up out of here, and that is the man, the fool that stole a diamond that was worth $160,000, and he traded it for a $20 bag of weed.
Well, must have been some
It
good
must be
weed.
some good weed, man. $160,000, seriously. With that, look, it was only like, I think the equivalent of like 2 joints or something. I don't know. It was just crazy. Sky Harbor Airport, Phoenix. That's where he got it. And I've never seen no craziness like this before. So, felony charge. You stupid. $160,000. You with $160,000 diamond, at least you should have told him I need 40 bricks. 40 bricks. Just saying. But you got $20 worth of weed. And the rightful owner, just saying, the rightful owner did get their diamond back. They did. So that's the craziest crap I've ever seen in my life. So keep it locked right here. We got plenty of shows coming up right here on the Beat Drops Radio. If you haven't done it already, make sure you like us on our Facebook page. Just go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on the F. That'll take you directly there. And once you do that, suggest us to all of your friends. Tell a friend. Make sure they all click like. Follow us on Twitter at BeatDropsRadio, and also my Instagram is Bianca_Burwell. Dougie Fresh.
You can check me out, DougLehman.com. We'll spell it out for you in layman's terms. That's Lehman, LEHMAN.com. Got some new tips for authors and writers. 10 video tips and strategies to get your book noticed and stay relevant as an author and simply sell more books. Check me out at Social Selling TV, and of course on the TheBeatDropsRadio.com, 3 to 5 on the Bianca Burwell Show.
Download that TuneIn app. Take us wherever you are, wherever you go. And also, just saying, artists, I keep getting hit up by you, and a lot of them do. To get spins, all you got to do is go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on Submit Your Music, follow all of the guidelines there. Make sure it's clean, mixed, mastered. This is a family show. And there's a small fee that's right there. How many songs? Up to 3 songs. That's all you got to do. And also, we love New Music Monday when we debut new artists. So keep it locked. We got a whole lot coming up later on this evening. We got Master Christian coming up and Full Belly Radio later on this evening. Keep it locked. I told him to take a. I want to come over there.
The station with the best music. Best music. Best music.
There's too many things in the way. When it's Bluetooth and it has too many things obstructing it, you can't really function the way it needs to function.